Hi guys, in this video we're going to look into extruding along a curve. So this is a slightly more advanced way to use our extrude tool. So first of all, I am going to hold spacebar, left click in here and jump into right view. Okay, I'm then going to try and find my spaceship here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a curve. So I'm going to go to Create Curve Tools and CV Curve Tool, which is up here. Now you have to be in orthographic, which is one of these side-on views or front-on views, to be able to create this. Then wherever I click, I'm going to create points, and I can create a smoothed curve like this. If I hit enter, that curve is now finished. I can hold right click, go to Control Vertex, and I can manipulate the curve points. So I could come out of this into perspective mode. Let's have another look, and I've got a very flat curve there, so I could maybe start to manipulate this slightly. Okay, you could use soft select for this as well, so if I turn B on, I could softly select these. It's not letting me get that one. There we go. Cool. So again, you'll spend a bit of time doing this. I'm just doing this for demonstration purposes now. So what we do now is we're going to select our object, and I'm going to select some faces. I might need to maybe position my curve. So it's up here at the moment. I might need to position my curve into the right point. So let's say it's going to come from these faces here. We're going to extrude them along this curve. So let's select those faces, and then I'm going to shift select this curve. So I've now had those faces selected, I've shift select the curve. I'm then going to hit extrude. You'll notice that it snaps all the way to the end. We've got this options box here, so if I increase the divisions, you'll notice that it's going to run along my curve there, which is really cool. So I can increase this to greater than 25 if I need as well. Okay, super. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to look at how I can manipulate this curve. So I'm going to click down here, and I'm going to open up my outliner. So this is a list of everything that exists in my scene, and I can click on this curve. I'm going to click this button up here in my viewport, which is going to let it go slightly invisible so I can see that curve. And then I'm going to hold right click and go to Control Vertex, and I'm actually going to turn that X-ray off now. So what I can actually do is I can manipulate the curve, and I can actually have the mesh on the fly, kind of manipulating on the fly. So this is really powerful, and I can manipulate this curve into the right sort of position that I want for whatever I am creating. So we've got this crazy wacky sort of extrusion happening here now. Okay, I'm now going to scroll down in my channel box, so I'm in this one on the far right up here, and I am going to click on my mesh. And I'm going to scroll down to the history of this mesh, and I'm going to look at this poly extrude face, which is the last one that I did. So I've now got all the settings of this poly extrude in here, but if I scroll down further, you can notice I've got twist and taper. So what taper is going to do, if I click this and then use my middle mouse button to drag, I can increase it so it's now getting bigger. So it starts off thin and it gets bigger towards the end, or I can obviously do the opposite of that and make it get smaller. So this is great for things like wires and stuff like that, or horns. I can also use the twist here as well to twist the mesh. Now it's only going to 180 by default. Let's go to 720, so that's quite a big twist there. Excuse me. So now I've got this mesh twisting and tapering over this curve, and I can again tweak those points. Now, if I delete this curve here, you'll notice that my extrusion disappears as well. So what I need to do is I actually need to make sure my history is deleted. So if I now delete by type history, and now I delete this curve, it's now going to bake that into my mesh. So I've got this crazy extrusion going on here. Okay, so in this video we've looked at how to extrude along a curve. This is great for creating wires, horns, tons of kind of stuff that needs a more kind of specific bespoke wrap. Remember, we can edit that curve on the fly so we can make it wrap around whatever model that we need. Okay, thank you very much.